Theta Network. Why this altcoin could take off in 2025. Did you know that Theta is only worth 700 million, even though it has partners like Google and Samsung? While everyone is talking about the big altcoins, most people are overlooking an altcoin that combines streaming, AI, and blockchain. In this video, you'll find out why right now might be the perfect time to bet on Theta. And at the end, I'll show you price scenarios that will surprise you. Welcome to TNAX by Marius, your channel for honest, data-driven altcoin analysis. Why is nobody talking about Theta Network anymore? This altcoin already has Google, Samsung, and Sony on board, and its market value is still just around 700 million. So it's a mid-cap. I really took a detailed look at the project using my 20 key metrics, and I discovered some hidden potential that you shouldn't overlook. But first, what exactly is Theta? Well, in the end, it combines blockchain, AI, and decentralized streaming, so a mix that could become extremely big in the future. In short, it's a decentralized infrastructure that allows users to share bandwidth and computing power, for example, for video streaming, AI applications, but also for cloud services. With this, Theta solves a real problem. Centralized streaming servers are expensive, inefficient, and often overloaded, and Theta replaces them with a global network of users. Of course, this saves costs and improves quality, but at the same time, it makes the system much more scalable. And technically, the whole thing is also exciting. It actually runs on its own Layer 1 blockchain with two tokens. One is Theta, and the other, let's say, is T-Fuel for operations. Proof of stake ensures minimal energy consumption here, and as a result, there's a fixed maximum supply of Theta. That, of course, makes it completely inflation-proof. If you want to know how high this altcoin could go in the bull run, then at the end I'll show you 4 different price scenarios, even up to 2030. So definitely stick around until the end. But first, grab yourself another coffee, leave a like for me, and then let's go. But a quick disclaimer, my channel is not financial advice, it's purely for informational purposes. So let's get back to point 1. First, the market cap, as already mentioned, 700 million US dollars. That's in mid-cap territory, and that's really where the biggest opportunities arise, because they're not too low. They've already established a foundation, but they still have massive growth potential. Here, they can really score big. In this area, it's definitely a strong point. Next, let's talk about the circulating supply. 100% of the coins are already in circulation. There are no hidden unlocks left, which is of course extremely positive. No dilution here, so there's no risk of a later dump happening. That naturally builds trust for investors. By the way, if you're interested in altcoins, I've linked a crypto exchange for you below, where you can even get a bonus if you sign up. They also have some really exciting products, and I've actually done a full review of the exchange myself. Feel free to check it out if you like. You'll find all the info in the pinned comment. Definitely a strength of 7 here. Next point, what does the roadmap look like? Well, it's definitely detailed, it's ambitious. In 2025, the Edge Cloud, AI agents, subchains, and utility updates are coming. They're already delivering, and instead of making big promises or anything, they're actually doing it. Here, a strong 9. Next point, let's talk about the team. They have a team with top-notch education MIT, Stanford, and experience in gaming, blockchain, and streaming. On top of that, they have a strong development and strategy team, so when it comes to the team, they're extremely well positioned. That's why it's an 8 here as well. Next point, what about the narrative? Well, in the end, they're combining streaming with AI, with cloud, and with gaming. So they really have several megatrends here, all united in one project. And that speaks for a strong, long-term, and, let's say, a high use case, but above all, long-term relevance. Here, it's an 8. Next, what problem are they actually solving? The main problem is that streaming providers have high costs, outdated server structures, and also struggle with outages. And here, they offer a decentralized, scalable network that uses computing power and bandwidth from users and provides it more efficiently, cheaply, and quickly. So that's extremely relevant. Strength, 9. Next, what about energy efficiency? On one hand, they use proof of stake that consumes hardly any electricity. They are sustainable, they are up to date, especially for AI and cloud systems. In that area, they are also extremely well positioned. That's why 9. Next, What about capital? Do they have strong capital? They have top investors here. As already mentioned, Samsung, Next, Sony, Bertelsmann. Both of them invested in Theta quite early. That, of course, brings capital, credibility, and strategic access for industry partners. In this area, a strong 8. Next, what about the competition? How strong is the competition? Who actually is the competition? For example, we have Livepeer or Flixo, which have similar approaches, but none of them bring it all together as strongly as Theta does. Ultimately, they have strong partnerships, a clear roadmap, and that makes them extremely strong. By the way, if you're interested in other altcoins, especially my analyses or my dual format, check out the playlist. I have linked the 10x universe in the video description. It's quite exciting, so you don't miss the next altcoin. Here are 7. Next, what about their marketing? They're active on Twitter, Discord, Reddit, the usual suspects. But they also have events like ThetaCon or partnerships in the gaming and media sectors. So in that regard, they're solidly positioned. 8. Next, how simple is the idea? Well, the principle is simple. Share your bandwidth, earn tokens, support the network. That's easy to understand. Even without a tech degree, did I actually explain Theta in an interesting and clear way at the beginning? I'd really like to know. Let me know in the comments. Definitely a strong 8 here. So, what's their long-term vision? They want to become the leading Web3 cloud infrastructure, of course. A specialist in AI streaming. That's definitely ambitious, but with the right technology and the right partners, it's absolutely possible. Here, 9. Strong 9. Now let's move on to tokenomics. Is it deflationary? Do they have a max supply? What's the situation there? And they're limited to 1 billion tokens. Then, of course, they also have the other dual token, TFUEL. They have a burning mechanism, which can have a deflationary effect when network usage is high. So they're solidly positioned here. Regard. What about the fully improved market capitalization? As mentioned, all tokens are already in circulation. This means FDV equals market cap. There is no illusion, no hidden dilution. 10. Then, what is the liquidity, i.e. the volume on the market in the end? There we have the market cap ratio. The daily volume is currently at 42 million, with a market cap of 700 million. This is a solid relationship and shows that they really have strong trading activity. 10. Then, how was the token distribution actually? What about blocking periods? At the very beginning, 50% of the tokens really went to the team and, for example, sponsors, but with a lockup period. 20% of that went to the reserve, the rest went to participants and partnerships. That was distributed solidly and fairly. So, 8. Then, what about the top coin holders? What is the concentration like? The top 10 wallets hold 59%. Some of them are exchanges, which is of course okay. As I said, this is not ideal, but they do have blackout periods. This of course reduces the risk in this area. 7. Then, what benefit, what use case, what utility does the token actually have? As already mentioned, streaming, AI computing power, NFT DMs, then of course the Edge Store, dApps. So the list of what the token is used for is extremely long. It really adds value to the ecosystem. That's why this is clearly a strong 9 here as well. Let's move on to the second to last point, the community. How strong is it? They are very active on Reddit, they're active on Discord, they have ongoing discussions, an active community. It's not a hype coin, not a meme coin, but they actually have real users here who use the product. By the way, are you also a user of the token, or do you just hold it? Let me know in the comments. Here, 8. Then, what events are still coming up this year? So, in the end, they have several events planned for the middle and end of the year. They have the Edge Cloud releases, AI agents, subchains, basically all the topics that are important in the current market phase. And these in particular could trigger a wave in the crypto space. So, a strong 8 here. And then, as always, we come to the conclusion. What does the analysis tell us now? On the one hand, they're undervalued because they're in the mid-cap range, have a low market cap, and all tokens are already on the market. That's extremely strong. They have a strong and clear roadmap. The AI and decentralized streaming narrative is extremely important and relevant. Because of this, they also have hardly any competition, since there aren't many who share a similar vision. And on my 10x ranking list, they score 74.5%, which is in a solid range. Not in the top segment, but still very strong. And as always, I'll display my 10x ranking list here. My assessment for now, if you believe in AI, Web3, and real infrastructure, then you should definitely keep an eye on Theta, because it's a coin that really shouldn't be underestimated. Before we get to the price scenarios, by the way, if you're interested in whether I also hold it in my personal portfolio, if you want full insight into the 10x ranking list, then check out the 10x Elite. There are a ton of exciting things for you there. Among other things, there's also my 10x Academy, where you can learn how to analyze altcoins yourself. That's also extremely exciting, so take a look at everything. And right now there's even a 30% bonus. After this analysis, it's clear to me, this altcoin is stronger than the market currently wants us to believe. The Theta Network really has everything you would expect from strong contenders. A real use case, major partnerships, decentralized streaming, AI. Everything you ultimately need in terms of narratives. But what does that mean for the prices now? As always, let's look at different price scenarios now. Let's start with the bear scenario. Even if Theta ultimately remains just a niche player, playing only a minor role, and their ecosystem grows only minimally, if the entire crypto market grows massively, that could still mean $0.88 per coin. No moonshot, but definitely solid. Let's move on to the normal scenario. Here, it's more of a middle ground. The crypto market grows even more strongly. Theta really has a larger market cap and keeps growing. Their market share also increases, they deliver on their roadmap, and they gain new partners in the areas of streaming and edge computing. They're also further established here. If, as mentioned, the market share were to increase even more, then depending on the overall situation, prices of up to $5 to $10 would be possible. Now let's move on to the optimistic scenario. Imagine Theta becomes the standard solution in Web3 for AI and data distribution. A third of the DePINs become part of the gaming sector, and many Web3 services rely on exactly this network. Then we're already talking about prices of $50 to $100. That might sound very ambitious at first, but if partnerships like those with Google and Samsung, let's say, are really expanded even further and other partners join in, then theoretically that could be possible, at least mathematically. Now let's move on to the very optimistic scenario. Now, honestly, what if Theta gets everything right? Infrastructure, standards, their own subchains, AI, cloud, media. Every second Web3 service runs on Theta. Then $195 or even more would be possible. And that's not just pulled out of thin air, but is mathematically possible if, of course, the entire crypto market grows massively. That would really be the massive crypto bull run. Now let's move on to the Vision 2030. Let's take a look into the future. The entire crypto market will grow massively. If it really does go mainstream in the end. Bitcoin could then go to $1 million, maybe. And what about Theta? Here, prices of over $200 would be possible. What you do with this information now is entirely up to you and your risk profile. But Theta is definitely an exciting project. The purely mathematical price scenarios are also very interesting. If you want to check out other analyses of different coins that could also perform extremely well in the current bull run, I'll link you to an analysis here that will surprise you. So if you don't want to miss any more analyses, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon.